Lions never did it. Tigers never did it. Bears never did it. But one predator made a choice that changed human history forever. A wolf. Thousands of years ago, somewhere near an Ice Age campfire, a wolf walked toward humans instead of away from them. Nobody knows exactly how it happened, but that decision created the most successful partnership ever seen on Earth. And today, that same bloodline is sleeping upside down on somebody's couch. So how did a terrifying Ice Age hunter become humanity's best friend? Let's find out. Picture the world 20,000 years ago. No cities, no farms, no roads, just ice, snow, predators, and survival. Humans were barely hanging on. Every meal mattered. Every winter was dangerous. Every strange sound in the darkness could mean death. Beyond the firelight, wolves watched. They could smell something incredibly valuable. Not humans, their garbage. Discarded bones. Fat, guide. Meat, scraps. Free food. Most wolves kept their distance. Some got too bold and were driven away. But a few behaved differently. They waited. They watched. They learned. Imagine being one of those wolves. Every human could be dangerous. Every campfire could mean death. Yet, some wolves kept coming back. Not because they were friendly, but because they were curious. And curiosity turned out to be incredibly profitable. Generation after generation, the wolves most comfortable around humans gained an advantage. They found food more easily, spent less energy hunting, and raised more pups. And slowly, almost invisibly, natural selection began rewarding a surprising trait: calmness. Scientists call this survival of the friendliest. As these early wolves became less fearful of humans, something strange started happening to their bodies. Which famous domestication trait became common? It sounds bizarre, but as animals become domesticated, a whole collection of physical traits automatically changes. Smaller jaws, shorter snouts, rounder faces, and different coat colors. Scientists call this pattern domestication syndrome. By selecting for tameness, humans inadvertently altered the physical genetics of the animal. Over thousands of years, these wolves weren't just behaving differently, they were morphing into a completely new species. The earliest dogs were beginning to emerge. Then, something extraordinary happened. The relationship stopped being one-sided. Humans benefited too. Dogs stayed alert while humans slept. One bark could wake an entire camp. One warning could save lives. Imagine trying to sleep in the Ice Age. No walls, no locks, no alarms. Just pure darkness and something moving out there. Then dogs arrived. Suddenly, humans had living security systems. But guarding wasn't their only superpower. Humans had spears. Dogs had noses. Alone, both were useful. Together, they were completely overpowered. Dogs tracked prey, followed scent trails, and flushed large game into the open. Humans could now hunt more efficiently while taking significantly fewer risks. More food, fewer injuries, more surviving children. Some researchers believe dogs may have given Homo sapiens the ultimate survival advantage over competing human populations like Neanderthals. The alliance worked, and it spread. By the time humans began building villages and early civilizations, dogs had already become trusted companions across much of the ancient world. Fast forward to ancient Egypt, around 3000 BC Doha. Dogs are no longer just camp followers, they are family. When an Egyptian's pet dog died, what did the owners do to mourn? They shaved off their eyebrows. Ancient Egyptians fiercely loved their dogs. Many dogs had names, wore beautifully decorated leather collars, and were carefully mummified upon death to join the afterlife. The famous god Anubis was even depicted with a canine head. To the Egyptians, dogs weren't just companions. They were guardians of the soul. The wolf that once watched from the dark was now sleeping beside kings. As civilizations expanded, humans engineered more and more specific jobs for dogs. Guard dogs, hunting dogs, messenger dogs, rescue dogs, rat hunters. The Romans turned them into weapons. Heavy, armored Molossian hounds marched alongside legions, guarding military outposts and charging into enemy battle lines. Meanwhile, breeders began shaping dogs for hyper-specific tasks. Mastiffs became living tanks. Greyhounds became speed machines. Terriers became tiny, rat-hunting assassins. One single wolf ancestor, fractured into hundreds of radically different dog forms, all created through thousands of years of selective breeding. Now for the wildest scientific fact in this entire story. When you stare deeply into your dog's eyes, what happens inside your body? Oxytocin is the bonding hormone, the exact same chemical involved in the biological attachment between a mother and her newborn child. Research shows that mutual gazing between humans and dogs causes an oxytocin spike in both species simultaneously. Almost no other interspecies relationship on Earth works quite like this. Dogs didn't simply learn to live near us. They literally evolved to emotionally connect with us. By the 1800s, dogs transitioned from workers to status symbols. Breed clubs formed, kennel clubs appeared, and dog shows exploded. Humans started breeding dogs purely for appearance. And things got weird. That terrifying ice age predator? It became the Chihuahua that challenges animals 10 times its size, the pug that snores louder than a chainsaw, and the golden retriever that thinks every stranger is a long-lost friend. Today, there are more than 400 recognized dog breeds worldwide. They guide the blind, locate missing people, detect explosives, provide emotional therapy, and can even smell certain diseases like cancer through scent alone. Not bad for an animal that once lurked in the shadows. Let's return to that campfire 20,000 years ago. A wolf stood at the edge of the darkness. It wasn't trying to change history, build civilization, or become a meme. It was probably just looking for a scrap of leftover meat. But that tiny decision started something extraordinary. The wolves gained opportunity. Humans gained an ally. Together, they formed the most successful evolutionary pact in the history of life on Earth. They hunted together, traveled together, survived together, and eventually conquered the planet together. Today, that same bloodline rescues people buried in avalanches, protects families, and occasionally eats an entire sock for absolutely no reason. From apex predator to professional belly rub addict. And that might be the greatest evolutionary plot twist in history. Subscribe for more unbelievable stories hidden inside history. And I'll see you in the next era.